speaking of masks, you have some women now that are actually saying that they want to wear the masks indefinitely. They don't want to stop. Now, why would this actually be taking place? So there's actually several reasons that are outlined. This is a woman that was specifically interviewed by The Guardian, which should tell you everything you need to know right there, because it's already kind of off the rails with The Guardian as it is. So it starts off where they are giving responses to why they want to wear the mask forever. And so their response for the first part of this is, I don't want to feel the pressure of smiling at people to make sure everyone knows I'm friendly and likable. It's almost like taking away the male gaze. There's freedom in taking that power back. Taking the power back? Taking what power back? And maybe you should be a friendly person. I mean, is that really where we're at right now, where it's like, I don't want to have to actually work to be a nice person? Lord forbid people actually see me as being a decent human being to them, or whatever it is. You know, maybe that's just kind of the introvert kind of in these people. I'm not sure, but it really doesn't seem like that, because they're talking about the male gaze and all this weird stuff. All of this feminist stuff that they're putting on top of this for some reason. So it goes on to say, maybe it's because I'm a New Yorker, or maybe it's because I always feel like I have to present my best self to the world. But it has been such a relief to feel anonymous. It's like having a force field around me that says, don't see me. So basically blend in, conform, and just pass by. Nobody notices that you're there. That's basically what they're saying here. It's almost very similar to people that are online in the sense that it's anonymous that way. So they go on to say, it's a common consensus among my coworkers that we prefer not having customers see our faces. Oftentimes when a customer is being rude or saying off-color political things, it's not allowed to grimace or make a face because that would set them off. With a mask, I don't have to smile at them or worry about keeping a neutral face. I have had customers get very upset when I don't smile at them. I deal with anti-maskers constantly at work. They have threatened to hurt me, tried to get me fired, thrown things at me, and yelled F you in my face, which I doubt any of that's true, because we don't have any verifiable evidence that that is true, of course, because they're just saying things. They're just saying stuff. You can say it all day. That doesn't make it inherently true. I have a feeling that if somebody legitimately was throwing something at you, which would be considered as assault if they hit you with something, that, that person will probably get arrested. Like, there's things for this, okay? Like, there's no way that this stuff's just randomly happening all of a sudden. But anyways, they go on to say, if wearing a mask in a park separates me from them, I'm cool with that. Kind of reminds me of this tweet that I saw from this guy named David Hogg, which I have posted up here, where he says, I feel the need to continue wearing my mask outside, even though I'm fully vaccinated, because the inconvenience of having to wear a mask is more than worth it to have people think that I'm not a conservative. Okay, alright, dude. I mean, this proves that this was never about the science, which I made the response there also that you can see. This was never about the science of these people. It was always about, how can I differentiate myself from them? I mean, instead of just basically sticking a Biden-Harris sticker to my forehead, I'm going to put the mask on, and that basically means the same thing. And I want people to know it because it's a symbol. I mean, we've been saying this for months, that it's a political symbol, a political device that is being used by these people to make you think a certain way about something. And that's what they're trying to do here as well, is to separate themselves from these evil conservatives that just want people to have a choice of whether they should wear one or not. And then it goes on and it says, I appreciate that I felt a bit more anonymous in a mask and more gender ambiguous. There it goes. Here we go. After lockdown ended, it was confronting to go out and be exposed to all the offhand racism, sexism, and misgendering from strangers again. Sometimes when I'm just going out to grab takeaway, I've enjoyed keeping the mask on, even though it's not really necessary here now. So how many isms do these people have to deal with on a daily basis? I doubt they're dealing with anything like that. It could have been somebody just going to a store or something and them saying, have a nice day, and not confirming their gender in front of them. And all of a sudden they think it's misgendering or something. That's the way these people are looking to find something to be oppressed about. Make no mistake, they love this. If they couldn't put that in there, they would feel like something was wrong with them. They have to be able to say something was racist. They have to be able to say something was sexist, because that's the way they live their lives. But once again, you have them talking about these masks over their face, and constantly trying to either hide from people, to separate themselves from people, to differentiate themselves from people with it. That's the way that they are viewing all of this. They go on to say, I just stare at that little box with my face in it and pick apart my appearance. My double chin seems 6 times larger. My eye bags are too deep of a purple. Even when there's a heat wave, my apartment is close to 90 degrees. I'll wear a turtleneck that I can pull up. I pack on thick makeup that makes my skin peel. I 10,000% plan on wearing it in the foreseeable future. After a full day of worrying and not being able to focus on my actual job, it's just nice to blend in. Simply put, I'm sick of being perceived. Well, it doesn't really sound like people are perceiving you in any specific way at all. It really sounds to me like you are perceiving yourself in a negative light and you're using the mask to cover up what is obviously there. That's what it seems like to me that you're talking about here. All of this stuff about, this is sexist and racist, but even when I look at my face, I just feel so ugly. Okay, I mean that's a you problem, not other people problem. I mean, if you want to make the mask or wear the mask because it makes you feel better by covering up half your face, that's on you. I mean, you have the freedom to do that. But don't make it about all of these other people in the process, because I don't think that works both ways. This is clearly about you and your own lack of self-confidence. But I also think that this speaks to the larger idea of society. Because it's this weird need to kind of blend in, this weird need to remain anonymous in a way, if you want to call it that. As I briefly mentioned, it's kind of like being online, where you're away from people constantly, but you're connected with them. A lot of people online are completely anonymous in the sense that they may have a profile, but you don't know what that person looks like. You don't know their real name. It's just somebody that's there. That's basically what the Democrats are trying to do here. Because everybody behind a mask, everyone that's anonymous behind a Twitter profile can say whatever it is that they want to say to you. They can berate you online and say the worst and most terrible things. I mean, there's things people have said to me that I know for a fact that they would never say, not only not say to my face, but wouldn't say to anybody's face. Because they're actually in real life very introverted, online only kind of people that have zero people skills whatsoever. The issue is that you need people skills at some point to be decently good at doing anything in life and just getting along with the regular outside world. And it seems like these masks, at least for this person or these people here, are just being used as a way for them to hide away, to pretend as if the world outside of their bubble does not exist, even though it clearly does. And it goes on, and they said as well that, I think this is actually a different person from another site that was talking about this, where they said, of course, a mere face covering isn't going to deter the most dedicated catcallers and unwanted attention givers among us. So this person's taking this whole route and going the feminist way with it. They're trying to use it and say that these masks are getting rid of these people that are catcalling them and saying, hey, and really to them, catcalling is probably just a guy opening the door for them or saying, how was your morning today or something simple, some type of small talk or something is considered as probably catcalling to them. But they're using this and saying, well, the mask reduces that takes that away. But keep in mind, typically, people aren't really saying things to you, or guys aren't responding to you in a weird way or anything like that if you're just wearing or not wearing a mask or something like that. Really, what they're doing it for is probably a lot of has to do with how you're dressed, how you're presenting yourself. It's really funny how they'll say, oh, I'll wear a mask. I'm willing to wear a mask indefinitely, mind you. I'm willing to wear a mask all the time to keep away from, to keep a guy from complimenting me on my appearance. But I won't dress moderately. I won't put on clothes that cover every part of my body. I'll continue to dress like that, but I'll put on the mask to reduce it. How does this work? I mean, these are things that we've been saying for years. Hey guys, these women, if you want to not have these guys saying these things to you on the street or something like that, maybe the best thing you should probably do is maybe not dress in a way that makes you look like somebody that would maybe respond well to something that way. Don't give them that opportunity in everything. It doesn't have to be a mask. Maybe just dress more moderately. How are you willing to wear a mask, but you're not willing to change the way that you dress? That really is the kind of dichotomy that I'm trying to figure out here. This is just another way for feminism to be used to demonize men in something as crazy as just a mask. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.